YouTube faithful, welcome to the channel. Thanks for clicking the thumbnail. If you're new here, click subscribe. If you're an old school and or new, smash the like. I'm going to discuss PrizePicks, Sleeper, Chalkboard, all of them and any of them that I think are relevant to you to help you speed run your process today for NBA fantasy sports and hopefully teach you something along the way and make you think about something you haven't thought about yet, okay? The fact of the matter is this. I'm coming to you guys with an open heart and asking you to like the video because I hate to ask, but the fact is, it's not just me. Other content creators that I know and respect, YouTube, ever since football season has ended, they've been burying the fantasy sports videos, particularly my style. A few others, and because of that, they stopped showing the video, promoting it via YouTube's algorithm, and the only way to combat that is through the likes. Comments help, subscribing helps, but likes help the most. I hate to be that clown that asks for likes because I'm not that guy, but listen, I think it's actually fair of me to ask you to like the video if you did like the video. If you didn't like it, then don't like it, but if you did, smash that like for me, and that's all I got to say about that. Now, we have a couple of games today, I think 8 or 9 to be exact, and we got a couple of poverty games on this slate. Absolutely. March 18th, this little sucker here is Outlier Bet. Links in the description for a free 30-day trial. Give it a shot. It helps me every day of the week, twice on Sunday, during football season, that is. But as you can see, Knicks Warriors 6.5, abysmal total. Hawks Lakers 225. Minnesota Jazz 223. There's nothing really here pushing the limits. 225 is the max we're gonna get. And Chief, that ain't hitting. So step one of your process is this right here. Captain Crush, he's giving it away to you right here. This needs to be step one. Regardless of what application you use, this is step one. You check the slate, you look at the point totals, you get an idea of the spreads, and you use that as a guide. Listen to me carefully. These applications are designed to overload your brain, your poverty brain. It's designed to literally make you make bad decisions because they overload you with choices and options. Okay, look at all this. For the common man that's just trying to get on here and have some fun, he doesn't stand a chance. He doesn't have a snowball's chance in hell. Enter Captain Crush, and I am here to hopefully lift you out of poverty and get you on the right track, okay? You want to try to turn a 9-game slate into a 3 to 4 game slate and limit your exposure, okay? The more exposure you have all over the board is the more exposed your wallet is to PrizePicks. You dig? They will take that coin from you and not think twice. You got to be vigilant here, okay? We're playing for coin. This isn't a game unless you're in PrizePicks Arena. Then you are playing a game. But the fact is, you're still playing for coin. So disregard that. Now, who do we got to talk about? Well, I'm going to talk about everybody's favorite, everybody's darling, Joshua Hart. Now, the other day, he was Captain Crush's play of the day. I did a video on Saturday, and he covered for us. Let me tell you something. Me and my constituents, if you will, that are in my paid Discord service have literally been on a 4 to 5 day heater, the likes that I haven't seen since January during football season, okay? And anytime you go on a heater like that and you're up 100, 200 units, you can rest assured that eventually the scales will be balanced. This is just the life we live. Variance is real. It goes both ways. You can lose 4 days in a row. You can win 5 days in a row, or vice versa. It's streaky. Bankroll management is king, okay? If you've been betting and winning, I always tell you guys, after a big win, the next day you go light. You go light. You don't try to press your wins. That's what a degenerate does. That's how casinos are built. People not knowing when to walk away and people pressing their luck, okay? Slow and steady, keep the race, keep your level head, especially when you've been taking guys like Josh Hart and they've just been a cash cow for you, because I know how easy it is to be like, nah, he's been cashing me this, I'm just riding the train. Fine, ride the train, but you don't have to nuke it. You don't have to put everything you got on it because you don't have much. Hand to God, you and I know the truth. You don't have much, so keep within your means. Don't try to get rich overnight and stay the course, okay? Stay the course. I would be remiss if I didn't tell you guys the right way to do things. Nobody likes a nuke more than Captain Crush. Nobody likes to get in the mix more than Captain Crush. But at the end of the day, I need you guys to be around for the long term, okay? It's just bad for business for you guys to go broke. You understand what I'm telling? I'm keeping it real with you. I need you guys to win, and I need you guys to be able to be around for the long term. So my job is to facilitate those two outcomes. Think about it, okay? It's bad business for you guys to be losing and broke. So I got to be on point, and I got to keep spreading the gospel and doing the Lord's work. So we're talking about Josh Hart. Now, everything that I had, everything that I liked, he's been bumped up except for his P+R, which there's a reason it hasn't been bumped. Now, and his assists, okay? His fantasy score at 35 was just at 34. You can always consider this. Now, I'm going to flash over to the handy dandy notepad, which I haven't in a hot minute, but Captain Crush took some notes. It is Monday now, so I will take some note. We were joking around in the Discord all day. I was getting distracted. I probably could have got this video out earlier, but here we go. Josh Hart has a 1.01 fantasy point per minute over the last 10 games. Now, why is that important? Because over the last 10 games is when Josh Hart went from mediocre to elite when it comes to fantasy production and popularity and everything else. Now, I'm going to be real with you again. 90% of you, that's a big number, but Captain Crush feels safe to say it. You don't even watch basketball. Yeah, oh yeah, Captain Crush, he's calling you out. You don't even know ball. You don't watch the sport. That's fine. If you want to be a DGen, you don't have time to watch the games or whatever else, then you're always going to be at a disadvantage. But if you do watch basketball, you will know that Josh Hart is a menace on the court. He goes coast to coast. He plays two ways. He literally hustles. And when guys hustle and they show a lot of heart, they get the nod. They get the salute from old Captain Crush over here. Why? Because those are the type of guys that end up respecting your coin. DeJounte Murray yesterday, the discount. Oh my, oh me. Everybody was selling DeJounte Murray yesterday. Everybody was telling Captain Crush how he's chalked. Enter Captain Crush. I had to slap him back into reality. My own Discord, I told him, you shut your mouths. Know your role. DeJounte Murray can literally score 12 points in a quarter. He does it all the time. And what happened? He did just that. He covered. He cashed. Was it a sweat? It's always a sweat. It's never free. The lines are surgical. Discounted or not, they know what they're doing. They have the best psychologist in the world putting out promos, putting out plays, trying to extract money from you and putting it into their pocket. This is capitalism. This is a business, and this is a billion-dollar business. You need to be vigilant. Stop being asleep thinking that you know more than the books do. You don't. You damn sure don't know more than Captain Crush. So I'm telling you how it is, fella. Now, Josh Hart, 1.01 fantasy points per minute, but his usage rate is abysmal. 14%, okay? He doesn't have the ball in his hands a lot, but what he does do is he hustles, he grabs rebounds, so you got to consider him. Now, even with these bumped lines, he was going to be my play of the day, but I don't know if I'm going to consider these bumped lines as a play of the day type thing. I just locked this in at 26.5 PRA. Now it's at 27.5. What are we going to do? Well, I'll tell you, if you take it at 27.5, it ain't free, and it certainly is going to be a sweat. Just like I said. So you have options. The other day, they bumped up his rebounds. This was Saturday. I told you guys to consider his offensive rebounds. He ended up covering his rebounds, but not his offensive rebounds. And sometimes that happens. You can make the right play and still lose. It happens to me every single day. Yesterday, Jokic discount on 3 different sites. It was a smash play and it sold. That's just how it goes, man. We're gambling here, baby. Captain Crush is here to teach you the hard truths. Somebody's got to do it. It ain't all sunshine and rainbows. I can't just come on here and tell you everything you want to hear. I'm Captain Crush, okay? I love you guys, and that is why I will be here to preach the news and help you guys out. I don't big league anybody. You're in my court, you DM me, Captain Crush answers promptly. Now, you may say, well, why are we obsessed with Josh Hart? Well, because the coach has faith in him, and because he hustles so much, the coach will play him 40 to 45 minutes in a close game. It's ridiculous. Don't believe me? Go look at his game log. The last 10 to 12 games, he's been averaging 40 minutes. And what do I always say since day one, since time began? Minutes equals money in the NBA, fella. So I'm going over here live to the calculator right here. It's free on Google. Everyone has one. 1.01 now. This is simple math times 40. If it's a close game and he plays 40 minutes, bang, 40 fantasy points. Now, it's not an exact science. He's going to need blocks and steals, which are worth 3 a pop. it's going to be a sweat on his fantasy score. I'm telling you. And look at the spread. We go back here to Outlier. Where's it at? It's a 6.5 point spread. Now, we're not a slave to this. We use this as a guide. The Warriors are favored by 6.5. I don't necessarily agree with that. The Knicks play slow and defensive, but what do we know about Golden State? They're at home, and on top of that, they need to start winning games. My brothers and sisters in Christ, they need to win games. So do the Lakers, and you have to consider that stuff in. It's one of the 4 pillars, narrative, okay? So let's just say the game stays close. You can consider Josh Hart's fantasy, even with the bump. I did the math for you. I don't come on this YouTube channel to spoon feed you a play and be like, take this. If you want that, you can join my Discord, and even then, you got to be willing to do the work, okay? You can take the bump on his rebounds at 11. I believe it was 10.5 last night. And Captain Crush, I won't lie, I actually thought it was going to move down to 10. I didn't anticipate it going up to 11. The public moved this line up because it was being favored to go under 10.5, which is crazy. Sometimes the books haven't caught up yet on lines. It's very rare, but it happened, okay? Now, if you ran this in infinite time, Josh Hart under 11 rebounds would be the optimal play, okay? But because of what he's doing lately, and because of the amount of minutes he's playing, and because of the matchup and everything else, I'm not telling you to take less on any of these, but I won't be surprised if he doesn't get there. He is due regression, but I'm not going to plan for someone regressing that's playing 40 plus minutes a night, and God willing, the game stays competitive the whole way through. He might play 42 to 45. I'm telling you, it's insane. The man plays minutes. He just plays minutes. Now, we talk about a lot of coaches we don't like. Monty comes to mind. Another one would be Will Hardy, but when it comes to Thibodeau, he plays his guys minutes and he respects coin. So at the end of the day, I've spent like 10 minutes talking about Josh Hart. Well, it's because it's important. You can take the Goblin rebounds. You can take 11. You can take his fantasy score. Or if you just want to take a shot and hopefully he doesn't get a lot of offensive rebounds tonight and he just mainly gets defensive rebounds, then you could go right here and it's kind of giving you the same path, but a little bit easier because he still racks up offensive rebounds, but his main production from rebounds is defensive rebounds, okay? As you can see, he grabs like 1 to 2 offensive rebounds on average, which they don't even have that line up here, so he's probably going to grab a bunch tonight. His 15 RA, I got this at 14.5. Again, I'm sorry for spending so much time on here, guys, but this is probably the most popular play on every sports book tonight is going to be Josh Hart because he's just been a cash cow. And for that reason, I have to spend time on it. Now, if you say, Captain Crush, I'm going to fade that situation altogether because he is the most popular play, I give you a salute. You're thinking next level. Always fade the public. That's totally reasonable, and I will not fight you on that. Number two most popular play is going to be Clint Capela's rebounds way down here at 10.5. Another person who's been a cash cow for people. Look at this. People are going to see this and be all over it. 13, 15, 14, 14, 11. Now, no model is going to project Clint Capela to get 11 rebounds here, but anything is possible, and I do think he can get 11 rebounds. I don't love the matchup, obviously, but Anthony Davis has been giving up rebounds to opposing centers, so it's not the worst play, but this is the thing with Clint Capela. One, he's on a back-to-back. They just torched the Clippers live. I got to watch it, and the fact is, his minutes can get restricted and limited bang in a New York minute. It happens without warning. It happens all the time. For whatever reason, it happens. Schneider can do crazy things at the drop of a hat. He ain't immune, especially with that crazy haircut and glasses, I'm telling you. But I'm not going to talk you off Clint Capela today. It's another one of the most popular plays on the board. Again, the same thing applies as defensive rebounds, but here's the thing. Clint actually gets a lot of offensive rebounds. Those put back, tip, miss, put back, tip, offensive rebound. Clint is the king of that. So what Captain Crush did is I took the combo at 23.5. I got exposure to that. I have a very little amount of exposure to that. And those are the two most popular plays on the board, Clint and Josh Hart. And I had to discuss those because if I didn't, I wouldn't be doing the Lord's work. And Captain Crush is always going to do the Lord's work, man. Now, we have the dunk prop section. Now, there's only 4 up here, but yesterday, Captain Crush, once again, he's undefeated on the dunks. I've been cooking it. Eddie, you got to acknowledge Captain Crush. What was Captain Crush's pair yesterday for the discount, the lone pair that he put up most of all? Bang! Jalen Duren over 2.5 dunks. I watched Skywalker's video and I guess he was on there too. That's just coincidence. Great minds think alike. Shout out to Skywalker. You're doing God's work over there yourself, little bro. I should say big bro. The man's older than me. I'm not used to being young when it comes to people in this industry. I'm middle of the road. Captain Crush is an old head. But before I get into any more of the plays that I like, I wanted to discuss yesterday, and I did right here. Like I said, this was the play I put out. DeJounte with 2.5 dunks. Cash it, sweat free. And then I also put out these as the 2x daily doubles with Luka, 24.5 points, cash, Luka, and Gary Trent's Goblin, those cash. It was 1.8x, 2.x. I also liked Luka's fantasy yesterday, full game. He got hurt mid-third. He missed like 5 or 6 minutes, and that cost him. Also, the game could have went to overtime. It didn't. That cost us too. But this is under my captain slip tab, and if you're in my Discord, you need to set alerts to 3 sections: daily props, captain's daily news, and captain slips. Okay, the daily news is where you get my projection cheat sheets, my YouTube links, etc., anything that I have to say. Captain slips is where I put my slips, most of them, and the daily props is where you get the prop list. This is for gold Discord members that are in here. Some of you guys are new, and the ones that will be joining today, there you go. There is a video under server rules to get you guys in the mix and let you know how Captain Crush does things. Now, here we go, fella. I'm giving shout outs because I'm proud of the members that I have, because not only if they don't just get plays from me, I have role members that are doing things in the esports section. Captain Crush doesn't know a lick about esports. Sometimes I give the value plays, but there's guys holding it down for me that have roles in here. I appreciate them. There's also regular members that contribute, that post slips for people to tail. They take everything that I've taught, they reinforce what I believe, and they post things that is important. That is how you foster a community that's going to last. There's so many of these Discords that are called flashes in the pan. All they want is to grift and scam and get money from you and then forget about it. No, Captain Crush is here for the long haul. I'm only going to grow and get bigger. You join my Cord, you're a valued member of my community. And sometimes I got to slap you into reality too, because you come in, you think you know something, and then Captain Crush has to tell you, that ain't the way to do things. There's a right and a wrong way to do things. And if you join my Discord, it means you have faith in me and you should just take my word at it. Now, I don't know everything and I still learn every day, but if I don't know about something such as esports, I know my role and I take a back seat to the professionals that do. But when it comes to the NBA, NFL, WNBA, MLB, Captain Crush has best principles, and you should listen because I'm trying to help you guys and save you guys money from making mistakes that I did when I was young, like you guys are now, okay? You guys are coming up, and now I'm in a position to help you guys, and that is exactly what I am here to do each and every day. I put my heart and soul into this, but scrolling through here, you can see everybody ate. Just like I say, when Captain Crush eats, everybody eats. Gary Trent, look at this. DeJounte, I had Tatum under 34.5 points yesterday versus the Wizards. That's an absolute crazy play, risky to take, and Captain Crush said, nope, put it in the mix because it's hitting. He's staying under. Cash it. Money Matt says, all because of this cord, Captain Crush, you're on a heater. He's absolutely right. I am on a heater. And that means eventually we're going to have a bad day. I don't want to be negative. I'm the most positive person you're going to meet, but I tell you that because it is the reality. You need to not, just because you've been winning 4 or 5 days straight, it doesn't mean you can just start blasting away nukes. I'm telling you guys that for your own good, okay? Because I care. I want you guys to be slow and steady. I don't care if you win 2 weeks straight. Nothing changes. If you want to take a shot here and there, that's fine. But you can't be doing it on every slip. All right. Now, I preach Sundays are poverty for the NBA. These are human beings. They get hungover. They go out party on the weekends. They have millions of dollars that Captain Crush wishes he had, baby. One day, Captain Crush will be in that bracket. I'm willing it and I'm speaking it into existence. But for now, I go light on Sundays. But yesterday was a good Sunday. Now, here we go. This is Captain Crush. That was my 2-man. Cash it. This was another 2-man I did. Some of you guys, Cap, how do you get these promos? I get to bet 100 on them because of PrizePicks Platinum, yada, yada. Cash that. This was my second half. Jeremy Sohan. Everyone calls him Sohan, but it's Sochan, announcer. He's got a C and an H, and that's Ch. I'm just kidding. I like to say their names wrong. So Jeremy Sohan, over 11.5 fantasy second half. This game, if you can watch the games and you see Jeremy, the menace that he is, just going up and down with blocks, you can get in the mix, cash it. And then Aaron Gordon and Terry Rozier, bang, cash it. 100, the full 3x. Give it to me. It was a great day yesterday. I treated myself to a nice dinner, but it wasn't even just yesterday. It was Saturday as well. It was Friday. It was Thursday. Spartan's giving out plays. Spartan gave out this play the night before. He's one of my top guys. He is my top guy, actually. Trust him with everything here. Always look out for his two-mans. He gives you guys, he literally does everything that I preach. He does it. That's how he makes his slips. So I can count on him to feed you guys, and I trust him to do so. So make sure you look out for those if you're new. A lot of these people were doing soccer stuff. I didn't make a video on Sunday, but we did great on Saturday too. As you can see, everybody's been eating. It was Saturday when we had that LeBron free square. Absolutely. This was Captain Crush's second half slip for Saturday. Bang, double up. Kuminga sold the second half. He went nuclear in the first and then he just sold, but we'll take the 2x. I posted that for everybody. I totally forgot about Saturday's controversy. The dunk. The Jared Allen dunk thing. I will address that momentarily, but if you want to get in, this is going to be a long video, 30 minutes plus, so you're just going to have to deal with it, guys. I'm sorry, but if you want to get in Captain Crush's Discord where I do the live streams Monday through Friday, you get into the general chat where everybody talks, join 1,000+ members. You have a couple of options. You can go buy direct at CaptainCrush.net where I will lift you out of poverty or do my best. You go gold, buy now, 83 cents a day. Look, on Dub Club, Captain Crush is trending, baby, because I'm one of the top guys in this system at Dub Club. They tell me that all the time, and it's there for a reason because I put my heart and soul into this. Some of these guys, they put these things together and they just want to take your coin. I could care less, dude. I'm literally here to help you guys. That is my passion, to teach you guys and to do the Lord's work. It makes me feel good at night. I can rest knowing that I made a difference in my small little corner of the world. If you want to join a family where we bust each other's chops, we joke around, we have a good time, but at the end of the day, we crush, this is the place for you. And I know a lot of you guys are on the fence because I can see the analytics. You come to the page, get in the mix, okay? I literally get Starbucks. You can't even get it for $25. Try me for a month. If you're not happy, take a hike. No feelings, no hard feelings, okay? If not, stick around and we'll break bread together and Captain Crush will put you out of poverty the best way that I know how, and that's doing God's work. Or you can sign up with any of my partners, Underdog, Sleeper, Chalkboard, which Chalkboard's coming to Android very soon, you poverty droid users, so get ready, and you send me an email and I'll give you a 30-day free trial. Now let's get back to the cook. Man, oh my, this video is gonna be long, baby. Captain Crush apologizes for it, but once I get cooking, it's hard to get me out of the kitchen. That's why my girl does all the cooking at this house, because, woo, I've been going on for days, baby. But they're adding stuff to the board, which means you need to be in the live stream today, and next, where's it gonna go? Bang, we're gonna talk about Stephen Curry. Stephen Curry, yes sir, we're talking about him because the other day, bang, no offense, Tommy, new member comes in the court. He tells me, bang, I think he joined Saturday or Sunday, I forget. He tells me Captain Crush puts out Anthony Edwards points plus rebounds. He puts out Curry's fantasy, and what does he say to Captain Crush? He says, Curry and Edwards, wow, we're really gambling in here. Fella, 50 fantasy points for Curry. There is only one Captain Crush. And when I tell you to buy low on Curry, you buy low on Curry. This was Saturday on the YouTube video. Anytime he's below 38, I don't care if the matchup is two teams versus the Warriors, I'm taking it, okay? He's playing at home. The matchup is terrible. It's a tough matchup, but they are favored to win, and he's at 38.5. They need to win, and I'm taking my shot on Curry. Like I said, 1.3 fantasy points per minute with a 31% usage rate. He only played 32 minutes last game. Everybody was in a panic in the first quarter. He came back and he crushed it all. That is what Curry is capable of. We buy low and we sell high. I'm telling you guys, it doesn't matter how you feel about something. The only thing that matters is these principles. They do not change. They don't break for anybody. If you don't like it, too bad. This is never the right play. I don't care what anybody tells you. He averages 1.3 fantasy points per minute. Let's go to the calculator. 1.31. Let's multiply it times 32. Class, it's 41.92. Now, That's an average. It's not an exact science. But at the end of the day, he's going to cover on average. Now, put in the fact that they need to win games. They're at home, and you get the good scenario. You're getting your coin in good. Now, because the public is going to look at the last 5, this actually might get a chance to drop down to 38 even. And if it does, you attack it. But even at 38.5, I'm in the mix. Now, there was 2 other plays from the Warriors I liked. They got bumped, so I'm not even going to discuss. If you're in the cord, you already know. And if you're not, you will be in by the end of this video, hopefully, and I will discuss it on the live stream today. Now, scrolling through here, the Lakers are in the same situation. They're playing the Hawks, who the Hawks just had a big win. They're feeling good. They're riding high on the hog. But at the end of the day, the Lakers need to win games too. And I honestly believe that the Lakers are going to go out tonight and handle business. And how do they do that? Well, Russell's going to have to step up. Reeves is going to have to step up. But most importantly, the man, the myth, the legend, King James is going to have to step up. And I think that you need to consider any one of these 3. Bang, they make a perfect triangle. You can consider Reeves, Russell, James, and even Davis, and maybe a splash of Hachimura. I'll have to wait and see what the model says. We'll talk about that in the live stream. But all 3 of these gentlemen are in play. Pick your poison, because the Lakers should be able to handle them tonight. In fact, I took the DeJounte Murray plus LeBron James over 16.5 assists. And then we have Cleveland versus the Pacers, and I want to talk about that. The other day, Jared Allen over 1.5 dunks. This cost me hundreds of dollars. He got 2 dunks. They only counted the dunk that he got in the second half. Now, I'm going to go ahead and see if this works. I don't know. I've never tried to play a video in video while I'm screen recording, but go ahead and check this out. This is clearly a dunk, fella. This is clearly a dunk, okay? Bang, to the rim. The announcers even said he flushed it down. That is a dunk. I don't care what. Look at this. He literally touches the rim on the way down and there. That's a dunk. There's no situation where that's not a dunk. So he did cover 2 dunks. They adjusted it on ESPN or NBA, not on ESPN, after their 30-minute window. PrizePicks eventually did acknowledge it, but they have a policy where after 30 minutes, too bad, so sad. So we did make the right play, but that happens, guys. Sometimes in gambling, you can do everything right and still lose. It's going to happen. So you have to be on your P's and Q's. But that being said, let me go back to dunks real quick. There ain't really anything here that I like, but I will probably take a shot on less Andrew Wiggins over half a dunk and maybe Anthony Davis over 2.5 dunks. Again, this is $5 max. I really am not a fan of AD today on the dunk front, and Andrew Wiggins is going to be a sweat, but I'm hoping Hartenstein clogs him up and he doesn't get in there in open lane. But that's going to be a sweat too, especially at home. So actually, just fade the dunks today. If there was anything there that I liked, I'd force it down your throats, but there ain't anything there today that Captain Crush really likes. So even though I've been cashing every day on the dunks, I'm going to take a hiatus today on today's dunks. If you want to take it, if you're forced into taking it, you can look at those too. I don't mind it. Now, they don't have Banton on the board yet for the Portland Trailblazers, but when he gets on the board, you got to consider him. I have him in my notes here. He's averaging 0.98 fantasy points per minute with a 25% usage rate, baby. You can't ignore it, okay? So the next person I'm going to talk about, this video is going so long, and I apologize, but it is what it is. We got to talk about this stuff because no one else is going to do it. Desmond Bane returns. He played another game, but now he's playing the Kings. Is he going to be T-Rex poverty? Nobody knows except Desmond Bane. Can he come out and get it done? Well, his line was at 21.5. Everybody was on it. Now he's at 22.5. These are the facts. He averages 1.21 fantasy points per minute with a 29% usage rate. The matchup is whatever. It all comes down to, is the game going to be close? He's a part of a poverty franchise. And heck, he lives in a poverty town. I said it. Memphis, Tennessee, where the Rock's career began. And technically, Captain Crush's career began in Tennessee too. Not in Memphis, but that's where I went to college. So, is Desmond Bane going to show up tonight and cash your slips? Folks, I can't be sure. I don't know what to tell you guys to do here. I need to see more from him since he did just come back. I'll tell you this. If I myself am going to have exposure to him today, it'll probably be his points plus assist or his fantasy score. I don't think I'm going to eat that bump at 22.5. The Memphis can literally show up and win games like they did against the Bucks, or they can't show up and they can get smashed like they did every other team, okay? You never know what what's going to happen. He did play 32 minutes the last game he did play, and the Kings are like 15th or 14th against his position ranked overall. Like I said, it's going to be dicey, folks. You got to decide what you're going to do there. I'm not exactly sure. The main thing I wanted to get across in this video was Curry today, and then another person that I'm going to talk about is Anthony Edwards, because he has just been eating, and again, he is a dog, as they call him. He's a dog. The man is a dog. He goes coast to coast. He plays with Hart, and you gotta love somebody that's gonna play with Hart. Now, this is a big number. 49.5 fantasy score. This is the highest I've ever seen Anthony Edwards at, but I'm telling you right now, he's averaging 1.26 fantasy points per minute with a 32% usage rate. You gotta have some exposure to Anthony Edwards today. I don't know where to go here. The spread could get ugly quick. Utah Jazz is playing at home. They're 6.5 point dogs at home. Over under 223. You're gonna have to make a decision here. My favorite would probably be his Gabi at 29.5 points, hoping that this game stays close. There is a Gabi promotion today, so you can consider that whatever you'd want. Let's go over to DG Fantasy real quick. One of Captain Crush's old partners. Use code CRUSH, you get 25% off, baby. And as you can see, everything is pretty much being favored. The RA is favored under. That's going to get bumped down, so definitely don't take over at 11.5, because you can see it's going to get moved down. And his P plus A is pretty much a 50-50. His points is a 50-50 on as far as the mathematical odds are concerned. And his fantasy score, look at this. Look at these inefficiencies. 49 on DraftKings, 48 on MGM, 50 at Caesars, 49 on Bovada. So it's pretty much a 50-50 coin flip as well. And to quote somebody, when you're in those type of situations and you want exposures, you can take a coin. Captain Crush has the rigged coin. Captain Crush subscribes to a philosophy called flippism. It's a real thing, okay? It means you take all the important decisions in life because life is but a gamble. Let flippism be your ramble and guide you into making a decision. That basically means heads, you take it, tails, you fade it. And wherever the coin lands, it lands, buddy. And that is how you can make those decisions, whether to take it or to fade it. I think it's a good play either way. You should have some exposure to Anthony Edwards, whether it's his P plus A, his points goblin, or something. Remember, hold off on this because it's probably going to get moved down. You can get value later if you'd like, but Ant Edwards is always in the mix because he respects coin and he's a dog and he goes coast to coast. Now let me sort through this dumpster because this video has been running so long and see if there's anything else. There's a ton of news in Boston. There's a ton of news everywhere else that's going to be dropping down the pike. Captain Crush is going to be on top of it all. I talked about the main people: Clint, Hart, Curry, Edwards, Bane. Is there any role players that Captain Crush can give to the YouTube faithful that are potentially going to be there to lift people out of poverty? Well, to be 100% honest with you, I might be taking less on Tatum again today at 48.5. I'm waiting to see what the news is. If his whole team's playing, and they do play, I will be taking less on his fantasy just because he may not play 4 quarters, but that's going to be my risky play of the day. It's not my play of the day. It's the risky play of the day. Let me clarify that before some degen locks and loads Tatum under and be like, Cap, you said it was the play of the day. And Captain Crush says, slap. No, I didn't, buddy. Listening's crucial. You know what? Let's just go to DG Fantasy and see if we can find any value here. Now, as you can see, a lot of things are being juiced under. But as you can see, the King James, like Captain Crush was already telling you guys, 48.5. He's 50 everywhere else. You need to have exposure to LeBron James's fantasy. I told you guys to choose one of the 3 early on in this video. This video is probably like 30 minutes. If you're new to my channel, normally my videos are 20 minutes, 25 tops, but today there's a lot of games. Captain Crush came off a heater of a weekend, and he came here fired up, ready to talk to the YouTube faithful. So I'm sorry again. That's about the 5th apology I've given. But 48.5 fantasy for LeBron. Go ahead and put it in the mix, baby, because he's getting it done. They got to win games. I said Russell Reeves. I said possibly LeBron. Captain Crush goes to DG. He sees the inefficiencies. Bang! It's in the mix. Fire the cannons. LeBron James is going to hit. At least I hope. Now you see Hartenstein, you see Andrew Nembhard. Nembhard, you ain't getting near Captain Crush's slip. Let me tell you, buddy. You got Sabonis down here at 18.5 points looking crispy. You got Lauri Markkanen at the lowest Captain can remember. 30.5. He's 31.5 on Pinnacle. You already know Lauri Markkanen over 30.5 PRA is going to get bumped up. So you have to make decisions here, guys. And what I do is I provide a projection sheet every day that looks just like this, except for Sundays. Usually those are my chill days where I have the player, fantasy score, point. This isn't today's. This is from a few days ago. Player, points, rebounds, assists, turnovers, yada, yada. Then you can load up DG, find one that's being 54 to 53% or better, compare it to the model, and bang, put it in your slip. Remember, you can get on DG, use promo code CRUSH, you get 25% off. I'm doing the Lord's work with these promos. And or you click the link in the description. I pay over $250 a month in all the tools that I use. Simulators, model projections, DG Fantasy, Outlier, all the tools, baby. You gotta spend money to make money. And Captain Crush's Discord at $25 a month is a steal. Get in the mix. So I will leave you with King James fantasy score on there. I do appreciate you listening to me ramble for 30 minutes or more by the time I get into post editing. Remember, Captain Crush makes his own thumbnails. He edits his own YouTube videos. He does it all, baby. Captain Crush, I literally do it all. I'm a one-man army, so I'm working round the clock trying to do it all. Provide content, edit content, crush myself. I got to get my own slips in the mix now. I got to make coin myself, and I am on a massive heater, and I am thankful to the Almighty for allowing me to be in this situation, and I am thankful to each and every one of you for showing up and giving me the chance to be in this situation. So thank you guys. You guys are the real heroes. And here we go to close. I will give you guys a 2-man on Underdog. And right as I was doing this, they bumped it live in real time. You hate to see it. It was Rudy Gobert over 13.5 rebounds. They just bumped it to 14. And again, LeBron James 48.5 fantasy here, just like it is on PrizePicks. You get parity. They score the same way. We're in the mix. So what I will do here is give you the option. You can take Tyon Grant Foster, college basketball play from Captain Crush. You better believe it. He's 19 on other books. So you can take that instead of the Rudy Gobert bump. You take LeBron and Tyon, and that's your Underdog 2-man. Remember, promo code CRUSH. Full deposit match. Ticket into the best Discord in the business, and I will leave you with that. Remember, CaptainCrush.net gets you in the mix. I thank you guys again from the bottom of my heart. I apologize for the long video. Here's the salute. I hope you guys crush all your contests. If you have any questions or comments, leave them below. Captain Crush sends his regards. It's all love, baby. And remember, if they don't play their minutes, well then chalk it all, baby. But hopefully we get some banger games like we did yesterday. And hopefully God blesses us with some coin. And as always, my brothers and sisters in Christ, let's crush.